welcome back into the workshop for a bit of a sideways update for the MFT style of top and the parallel gauges or rails that we're using here. One of the things I had been mentioning, and it may sound a little bit, oh God, here he goes again, but tolerance or precision. Well, how do you assess that? Unless you've got an engineer straight edge, which I don't have, I'd love to have one, your best bet is to find something that is straight. Well, how the heck do you do that? Well, you're going to have to choose straight and straight enough for a kickoff, but quite often, just some of those pieces of extrusion up there and over there or there are straight enough. Okay, that's so flaming subjective. It's almost, it's not good. But let's just pretend I've got a straight piece of custom wood here, that bit there, and I've got a supposedly straight piece of aluminium. Make them together, hold them up to the light, and see how much light can be seen between the two pieces. Okay, that's the start. Now, I've got a known piece of, this is called a feeler gauge. Well, it's actually a bit of paper, but I know that it is 0.07 of a millimetre thick. So it's 7/100ths of a millimetre. Now, that's fine. That's really, really, really fine. So, well, it's fine as a bit of paper. But in engineering terms, the old mouth's not working today. Went to have a cuppa before, but I came back out here. I'm going to go back in a cuppa in a moment. That's, in engineering term, is quite thick. In woodworking terms, it is pretty thin. Paper thickness. Okay, so how do you make use of the paper thickness? Well, you stick it between the two items. Oops, let's just try and do this where it works for me. Let's just move, shall we? I'm coming over here. Not ideal suspending something across because there is some deflection possible, but not in our scenario really. Place a bit of paper in there, sit the item being gauged and see whether it pulls out. So no, it won't pull out there. Keep doing that in different places. Will it pull? Oh, it starts to pull. You know that one of these pieces is not straight. In fact, you can quite often just, look at that. It slides until it doesn't. It actually hits an area of resistance, which is probably just a rough bit of the cut. Here, it's sliding, and then it's just fouling again here, and it won't really slide there. It won't pull out. But in here this is where it's not straight. Which one's not straight? Okay. Let's pretend the aluminium is straight and that's not. So there's the gap. Take a marker. Put a mark there. Where isn't it moving? Well, we knew it was not moving down here. Oh, wee bit there. So it's not moving there. Now you move this along and see whether there's a gap still. And there is. So there's more chance that this is curved than this is. So it's just a logical progression of determining which is straight. I have found for most purposes, that simple process, use feeler gauges. It might be even more better. And you can find the feeler gauge that is best suited, so you will know what the intolerance is, or the gap. but then you can quickly determine which one is out. This is probably not straight because even I can see a bit of paint there, which I've scratched off. So you've got to start with a clean surface. Now I did that for a piece of steel. It took me ages to get. Now let me struggle around to get it. And struggle around to get it. Where is it? Ah, there it is. And I did that to this piece of steel, effectively making it as close as I can get to an engineer's straight edge. It's not, but I'm just saying. I'll just put it down there. That has got a little hollow just there, but the rest of it has been hand filed straight, or as straight as I can make it in the workshop. It's 10 millimeters thick, 40 millimeters deep. It was my prototype, well, as it turned out, my prototype for my 345ing, the 100mm spaced holes, etc., that I was going to use for the MFT top. I thought, don't know why, that I'd need a very straight edge from which to then mark the position of the holes. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. That's the sort of precision I was anticipating trying to do in-house. Turns out that I should have been worrying about other things. But that is a fairly straight piece of steel. Not engineer's straight, but nonetheless. So if I put that on there, how does my paper theory work? Well, that's how you would do the same thing. Will the paper go in any of these places? And well, there's a little hollow there. There's where it's going past that point. Oh, it's now ceasing up here. I can now mark the piece here with a mark, and I know that's a high point of one of these bars. Remembering, I'm not relying on either one of them. Once I know that I've got a high point on here or here, I can move the thing and see whether it stays, it has the same error. You're trying to counter any one of the either one of the parts, and you see, it's still got a gap there. So there's a good chance that the melamine has like a hollow at this point. Good chance. Then you do the same thing here, and you find where the nothing, doesn't move, and you can mark the bar, and etc. That's the process. But I'm pretty happy with how straight this is. I got it to within a couple of thou, and I was quite happy with it. I used one of these bars over here to act as my melamine to do that checking. And believe it or not, some of those extrusions were pretty darn straight. You couldn't see any light between the surfaces. So sometimes you can go to an inordinate amount of effort to be no better than those flaming straight edges. Until they're not straight anymore, because some of them they look straight, and I've got a couple like that I used. I used to take on site, and I would swear they were straight until I tested them. This one here, even though it's been scratched up, is actually pretty straight. And again, using the same, and I've actually surfaced the aluminium a little bit. Still got a little bit of paint on it, but I've surfaced that for doing. Oh God, this thing's heavy. For doing what I'm about to do now is that, and I can tell you there's a mismatch. How do I tell? I can see the whole bar pivots down here. Can you? I'm moving this end. Can you? It pivots perfectly down there, meaning there's a hollow in here. Well, you can say, well, of course there's a hollow. You're actually suspending it from 2 points. Why don't you put something underneath here and support it? Yeah, well, we can go there, but for the same reason, you try and find. So that paper doesn't want to easily go in along there. So I know my tolerance along there. Remember, I still don't know which one's straight, but I've got an idea. That is less than 7/100ths of a millimetre. That thick, because it won't go in there. I know where it will because I had those hash marks on it. But I also, no, not there, not there, not there. Hang on, I'll find where the hash marks were. It was roughly in the middle. Yep, roughly in the middle. Hang on. Sorry for the dislocating you there. I'm putting it like that. But if I come in here, there we go. There's where the paper can come in, and I can run it along. At that point, it stops. And that point, it stops. So in there, there's a discrepancy no less than 0.7/100ths of a millimetre, and then it stops. And that's where I had the hash marks, because I'd actually spent that time and I thought, it's straight enough. If I get it to that accuracy, that'll be fine for my woodworking endeavours. I could do a little bit more, and I might do a little bit more, but this bar then has to go into a place, probably better than there, that doesn't allow it to get banged out of straightness. Here's the thing. I do the same with 2 pieces of extrusion, and I can't get the paper to move anywhere along the lengths of the 2 extrusions. I kind of know that both of them, or one of them, or both of them are dead straight. That one is as dead straight as we could ask for a lowly piece of aluminium in the workshop that hasn't been well protected. I couldn't ask for anything more than that. Just saying. So yeah, that's my very rough builder's interpretation of how you find a straight edge. Remembering, even suspending this piece of aluminium like this induces a hollow. And you think, really? Well, I've watched too many engineering machinists videos to say that it doesn't. But for our purposes, we go for me, I go 1/3, 1/3. A little bit. It's not truly the thing. I come in a third and a third, and that's where I support it, allowing the weight that hangs out either end. It's actually kind of like a 1/6. Anyway, so any weight, this is stupid, but any weight that cantilevers off from the support counters any gravity weight induced curve. It ain't going to be measurable in this workshop, but that's what I'm just saying, is that that's how you do it, or how you can do it. It's one of those things. In fact, I picked that up from, believe it or not, totally unrelated, from where they have the lift points for beams. And there is a certain area at which it is advantageous or required to put your hooks or your strops or whatever on a beam that permits it to be lifted without too much distortion. Most beams can resist it, but there are some instances when lifting things are critical, and they have I can't remember what it is, but there is a ratio for the length that's where you put your hooks. Anyway, you take one idea and you murder it, but you do it to death. But you, that's how I find out my straight edges. That's why this straight edge and that one is up where it is, because I know they're straight. Well, straight enough for my paper test. Did that help? No? Give it a crack. I'll tell you what, all you machinists and engineers, give me the better way. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I do the best I can, and if it works, I stop. I say, that's enough. I can't go any further because A, I don't know what I'm doing, and B, I don't know what to do to fix up what I don't know what I'm doing. You get the point, don't you? You just got to give it a go sometimes. Yeah. In fact, I hope that's the... It actually looks... I can't recall whether my good straight edge is that one or not. So I didn't think it had bevel on each end, a mitre on each end. Moo. Better check that. Oh, tell you what, I'll use some paper. Okay, that's it. Bit long-winded, but there you go. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye now.